Yo, what's going on everyone, Impulse here and welcome back to another Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle. Today I'm going to be battling DJSparker aka Demo in this standard battle. So this battle was quite a while ago, I can't really remember what happened in it too well, but I'll narrate it the best I can. As for the team preview, you can see that I've got a Rotom, a Milotic, an Ambipom, a Goodra, a Theraphone and a Slurpuff. And I do recall that this Slurpuff, its set is not right, the EVs that is. And that's something that kind of messes me over in the game. But continuing on, we can see my opponent's team is an Alolan Persian, Primarina, Alolan Marowak, Theraphone, Zapdos and Zygarde. Remember that if you want to battle in the future, go ahead and drop your details down in the comment section below. Also, if you're a new viewer and you enjoy what you see, definitely hit that subscribe button. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this battle. So I am challenged by DJSparker. And I am going to lead out with my Rotom anti-lead, and he is going to lead out with his Persian, so I'm predicting his Fake Out, it's the obvious play, but I don't want to use this guy, I need to switch him out. My opponent decides he wants to switch out as well, and he goes into the Theraphone, resisting the Hydro Pump or the Electric move I guess, but that's not going to happen here. So I go out into my Theraphone, so this turn we're going to trade off rocks. Now with rocks being set up, I decide to go for the T-Wave, figuring I've got nothing else better to do. And my opponent goes out into his Zapdos, so he's going to resist that, completely ignore it in fact, since electric types cannot be paralysed. So I don't want to get Heat Wave, so I'm going to switch out. I'm going to go into Goodra to take whatever it wants to throw at me. Obviously got the Assault Vest, so I can take any hit that it wants to provide. It actually goes for the Defog, gets rid of both sets of rocks, so it's not really a big issue since it's really early on in the game. So now he's going to withdraw and he's going to go out into his Marowak. Marowak's going to take the Sludge Wave, but fortunately for him it's resisted and it doesn't do a great deal of damage. Ooh, sorry about that. So I'm going to go out into Rotom, figuring it's the only thing that can really take anything that this wants to do. We take the Shadow Ball now and it does quite a lot of damage. So I decide that I'm going to set up my trick right now, take away his Sick Club and take away some of the threat and lock him onto one move. So he goes for the Shadow Ball again, and it's not going to do as much this time because his attack is not doubled anymore. So I figure I can switch out and preserve my guy for a little later, so I go into Theraphone. We take the Shadow Bone, but unfortunately Shadow Bone does not make contact, so we do not get the Rocket Helmet and Iron Barbs off, but it forces a switch into Zapdos, which means I'm going to be able to set up my move. I go for the Leech Seed, get some HP back, and things are rocking out. So I'm going to retreat Theraphone because I don't want to risk it. I'm going to go out into Goodra, see if this thing's got the Heat Wave, and he goes for the Roost. So I'm not quite sure what he was thinking there. I guess he just wanted his HP back, had nothing better to do. So he withdraws and goes into Primarina. I'm going to go for the Fire Blast, but he's going to evade it anyway, not that it would have done too much. So I decide that I'm going to go for the Poison move. Get some good damage off, but unfortunately I'm going to take an Ice Beam. Thankfully the Assault Vest is going to protect me. Now he's going to go into Marowak. I'm going to go for the Sludge Wave, and again it's not going to do too much, but we are going to get off the Poison. I know that he's got to lock himself into one move. So I decide to make a retreat. I go out into Rotom, so I figure it's time to fodder this thing off because I don't think I'm going to be able to get the Pain Split off. Thankfully though, we live on 1 HP, and that's going to burn another turn of his Poison. I decide that I can save this for later for Pain Split, and I go out into Milotic to take the hit. He's obviously got to go for the Flare Blitz, so that's not going to be too much of a problem. But he does get the burn, which doesn't really matter to us since we got the leftovers, so we can recover off the burn damage, and now we get a Marvel scale boost in defense. Poison's really starting to do a number on his HP, so that's pretty good for us. And he's gonna go for another Flare Blitz, figuring he wants to sack his guy off. Poison's going to take it down to its last sliver of HP, and we're going to have to take one more hit unfortunately. So I decide to recover, since it's not really a big issue. Get all my HP back once again, and he goes for his final He goes for his final Flare Blitz, and he's going to take himself out. So Zapdos is going to come out, and that means that I'm going to have to make a switch as usual. Can't really stay in against the Zapdos too well. But my opponent's going to double switch, and he goes out into his Zydog. I decide I'm going to go out, and I go out into my Rotom. Zydog goes for its 1000 arrows, it's going to hit, and it's going to take me out. He reveals that he's got a Life Orb, so I'm going to bring in my Slurpuff. He's going to withdraw and go out into his Zapdos, and that gives me an opportunity to set up my Belly Drum. So my attack goes +6, but unfortunately my EVs are invested wrong, and so is my happiness. So I'm not going to pop off my Citrus Berry at the time, and the damage of return is going to be quite low compared to what it should be. The berry goes off after, and now we take a Toxic for no reason. So I really put myself on the down spiral. So I decide to go for the Play Rough, take it out, and yeah. Poison's starting to rack up, and he sends out his Zydog. Unfortunately, he's faster because of the extreme speed, having priority, and he's going to take us out, which wouldn't have been as much of a problem if we had the right set. So now I'm going to have to bring out Milotic. He's going to withdraw his Zydog once again, and he goes out into his Theraphone. Theraphone's going to take a Scald, but we don't get the burn. So I decide I'm going to make a switch out. I go out into Goodra to take whatever he wants to throw at me. I've got Sap Sipper in case he's got the grass move, but he goes for his Stealth Rocks. And yeah, he's just going to set those up, get a little bit HP back, and now he's vulnerable to our next attack. He's going to withdraw his guy and go out into his Prisma. We go for a Draco just in case, and obviously that didn't matter too much. It was a no risk play. So we're faster and we're able to get the KO. Zydog comes in. And that means I'm going to have to switch out. So I go out into Theraphone to take whatever he wants to do to me. He goes for his 1000 arrows as usual, and he's going to get some decent damage off on me since it's neutral. He's going to go for it again considering how much it did, and I'm going to go for my Leech Seed. Leech Seed connects, and I'm going to be able to steal a little bit more HP from this guy. So I can really start chipping away at him with Leech Seed and with Life Orb. He's going to withdraw because he doesn't like that idea, and he goes out into his Persian. This turn I'm going to set up my stealth rocks, figuring I had nothing better to do. And now we're going to full volley to the taunt. We can't see it after the taunt, and I'm not really sure what his plan is in total, so I'm just going to stay in and I'm going to go for the attack. He goes for his parting shot and lowers our attack, and he goes out into his Zydog once again, which is going to take some stealth rock damage. Not a really big problem though, we've got power whip. Even after the +1, it's going to be able to take it out because Zydog is not very beefy. So Persian's going to come back out again and take some damage from the stealth rocks. And he's going to proceed to foul play, but considering we've had our attack lowered, it's not going to do too much, and he's just going to take some double recoil. We're going to go for the power whip again. Even at -1, it's still going to do a decent amount. And finally the taunt wears off. My opponent goes for foul play again to try and finish me off, and it's going to happen. But unfortunately for him, he's going to take double recoil once again, and I'm going to be able to bring in my Jibber Jabber. Ambi Palm's got the fake out, obviously going to be faster than it, and my opponent sees what's going to happen and decides to forfeit the match. So GG DJSparker. Question of the day for you guys that are still here in the back: what is your favourite priority user? Go ahead and answer that in the comment section below, and as usual, if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to mash that like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Laters!